Ethan Cross had always been told he was smart enough to do anything, but not driven enough to do something. That bitter truth lingered in his life like a bad aftertaste, one his father never failed to remind him of. He lived alone in a small, cluttered apartment, the kind of place where the walls seemed too thin, the furniture too old, and the silence too loud. Stacks of unwashed dishes leaned precariously in the sink. A glowing monitor hummed in the corner, and a pile of laundry slumped over a chair like it had given up on being worn again. This was his kingdom. A low-level tech support role paid the bills, barely, and left him just enough time to play tabletop games with online friends who lived hundreds of miles away. His parents had told him since childhood he lacked ambition. They were right. He could feel it, something missing, like a hollow space in his chest where life had forgotten to plant meaning. His phone buzzed, a name flashed, Dad. Ethan sighed and picked it up. "You've always had the smarts, Ethan, but no drive. That's why you're 33 and still going nowhere," said his father, Richard Cross. "Nice to hear from you too, Dad," said Ethan flatly. "I just don't want to see you waste your life," Richard said. "Don't worry, I'm making an art of it," Ethan replied. He hung up before the conversation could grind deeper into his bones. The silence returned, heavier now. Later that night, Ethan stepped out onto the balcony, the cool night air washing over him. The city stretched outward, glittering with streetlights and neon signs. Above it all, the sky was endless, scattered with stars that looked sharper than usual. He rubbed at his temple. Maybe that weed from earlier was stronger than I thought. Because at that moment, he saw it. A fireball, bright as a miniature sun, tearing across the sky. It descended fast, too fast, and landed in the woods miles away. But there was no explosion, no shockwave, no sound. Just a flash, then silence. He looked around in disbelief. A couple walking their dog didn't even glance up. A car rolled by, music thumping. Nobody reacted. Ethan said to himself, "Okay. Either I just saw the craziest meteor strike in history, or I should have stopped buying from Dave months ago." Still, something inside him stirred. A tug, like a whisper in his blood pulling him towards the trees. He smirked at the absurdity of it. If this is real, the FBI's gonna shove me in a bunker for life. Well, guess I've got nothing better to do, Ethan said to himself. He grabbed his keys. In the forest, branches clawed at his jacket as he trudged through the woods. His flashlight cut a narrow path through the dark, illuminating leaves and undergrowth. The further he went, the stronger the pull became, like gravity itself had chosen him. Then it happened. He stepped forward and felt it. A ripple, like walking through a wall of water. His skin prickled, his chest tightened, but the sensation vanished as quickly as it appeared. Yeah, definitely quitting smoking after this, Ethan said to himself. Ethan finally reached a clearing, and there it was. A ship, sleek, organic, and impossibly alien, resting silently in the clearing. Smoke coiled from its edges as if the forest itself was holding its breath. The whole shimmered with strange symbols, glowing faintly, and then, with a hiss of escaping air, a door began to open. A figure stepped into the smoke. First, he saw the eyes, golden, luminous, burning with an inner fire that pierced straight through him. Then, her form, tall, strong, skin a deep shade of blue, hair black as midnight flowing down to her waist. She wore a warrior's armor, scarred by battles. Upon her forearms gleamed two massive gauntlets, inscribed with runes, as if they weren't just metal, but alive with power. Ethan froze. He should have felt fear, but instead a strange calm spread through him, like the missing piece in his chest had finally stirred awake. Thinking to himself, why am I not afraid? She's alien. She could kill me in an instant. So why does this feel like recognition? At this moment, she spoke, her voice sharp and melodic, but the words meaningless to him. She frowned, tapped a metallic collar at her throat, and tried again. The language shifted with each press until finally it came out as archaic English. No human should have seen my ship. No human should walk through cloaking. What are you? What am I? Just a guy with a bad job and worse luck, Ethan replied sarcastically. She narrowed her eyes, golden light flaring briefly as she studied him. Suspicion, calculation, maybe even recognition flickered across her face. Finally, she spoke again, each word heavy. I am Kaelara, Veyrin, of the Aelirian people. We are the guardians of this quadrant, and your world is no longer safe. The Karthics are coming. Ethan blinked. Guardians? Karthics? He shook his head. Half joking, he says, Right, sure. Read this one in a manga last month. Next you'll tell me I've got secret powers or something. But that pull inside him, that whisper in his blood, only grew stronger. After a beat, Ethan responded again. So, you came here looking for soldiers? Well, looks like you found one. Kaelara's expression hardened. She flexed her gauntlets, the runes pulsing faintly. We shall see. The two stood beneath the stars. Ethan, a man who thought his life had no meaning, and Kaelara, a warrior whose glowing eyes hinted at secrets she had yet to reveal. Above them, the galaxy waited.